on. Yes, welcome back to Galway. I'm delighted to be joined by Richard Pugh, of course, who wears many different hats in our industry. But tonight, Richard is representing the George Mernagh Memorial Fund. Richard, tell us what the new initiative is. It's a very exciting initiative.
It is. It's something we're very excited about. I suppose to begin with, George Mernagh was a qualified rider to begin with. Then he went on to be a successful professional, had a good career, and then he went on to be managing director of Tattersall's. George passed a little over 10 years ago, and there was a fund set up to support young riders. George was very supportive of everyone, but in particular young riders, and that was largely focused on the eventing and sport horse world. But now we're going to point it towards amateurs, towards qualified riders. It's a sector of the industry that's falling away a little bit. We're well down in numbers. We've less than 50% amateurs than we had 15 years ago. The professionals are the same, the apprentices are the same, but the amateurs are cut in half. There's more than 300 less amateurs than 15 years ago. That's 300 people not riding out 4 lots a day. It's a big hit, and it's a wonderful opportunity to become an amateur. You've been an amateur, I've been an amateur, and then you've people at the top end, the Ruby Walshes, the Davy Russells, the Norman Williamses. We've stewards here today, Lorcan Weir, Michael O'Donoghue, all came through the amateur ranks. So to encourage people to take the leap, to encourage people to become an amateur rider, there's going to be a subsidy for everybody who becomes an amateur rider. It's become quite costly. The course is €600, so we'll take €200 off that coming from the fund, and more importantly we'll have a bursary for people who feel they need a little bit more help, who really want to become an amateur, to become a qualified rider, but they'd like a little bit more assistance, and their full cost of licence will be covered. They'll have a helmet and a back protector, which can be prohibitive for people nowadays. We suspect that the cost it's well north of €1,000 to become an amateur now. Take a day off work, do a course, get a helmet and back protector, so we'll cover that for somebody who's deemed appropriate and suitable to get that sort of bursary. And I suppose the important thing to say is that it is equipped, the educational arm, if you like, of Horse Racing Ireland have helped us greatly with this. They're going to administer it. So anybody who's interested in the bursary specifically and in particular should contact Anya O'Connor, who's in Equip, as you know, and she'll take your hand from there and look after you. And Anya couldn't be a better advertisement for what we're trying to achieve. Someone who works day to day in Equip. She's supposed to be here being interviewed with me now, but she's just riven in the Connacht Hotel, and she's over there weighing out for the bumper in and around her day job. But does not tell you exactly what you want about amateurs, about qualified riders in this country.
And riding as an amateur is a great stepping stone. As you said, so many of us have done it. Obviously, as you touched on, Ruby and those, they got, and Norman, they got to the highest level when they turned professional. Davy Russell, we could go on for hours and hours, but it's a great stepping stone for another path in the industry, isn't it?
Well, it is, and that's the important thing, because there's no template for an amateur. Yes, you can be a young professional. Now we see the Michael O'Sullivans coming through, they're the next generation, but people like you and me got to enjoy it as well at various different levels. Aubrey McMahon was a student when he won the big race tonight twice. Barry Connell tried it at a different phase in his life. He's now a Cheltenham Festival winning trainer, and so many of the staff here this week and at every race meeting. Lorcan Weir's pulling his hair out. He began as a qualified rider. Michael O'Donoghue's retiring this week. People mightn't realise that he was once a qualified rider, and onwards you go from there. Your own team, Lisa, Jane, yourself, Ruby, so many. So it's a great route into the industry. It's one I highly recommend for the buzz and the excitement, and I think the one thing that it offers over and above everything else, I can't think of any other sport where an amateur and a professional can get dressed together in the same changing room and compete on the same playing pitch and compare yourself against the Rachel Blackmores and the Paul Townends if you're lucky enough to get a ride in the same race. It's unique, it's wonderful, it's gender equal, and hopefully this will encourage people to come out if they're coming from an eventing or a hunting or whatever background it is. Try it. As you know, you won't regret it.
Yeah, definitely not. Great. Obviously this run in memory, of course, of George Mernagh as well. What a gentleman he was. He helped everybody. Everybody had a great word for him. Is going to be limited numbers wise, the bursary?
So the subsidy is available for everybody, and it will be €200 cheaper from now to get your amateur licence. The bursary is limited in numbers, so do apply through Anya in Equip. There'll be information released. We had a press release earlier in the week. There's information on the webpage on the Equip website, and you'll be assessed via Equip for the bursary. I think we've enough to go around, but I hope we've overdemanded. It'll be a great problem, and we'll be there next year and the year after to pick people up.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fair play to you and all the team as well. It's a great initiative, and hopefully there's going to be a massive uptake. Richard, many thanks.
Thank you.